Good morning, good afternoon, good day to everybody listening. It's your boy Max once more, and we're here with another episode of Max Talks. Today we have a special guest with us. He's my brother, my friend, my community unit ESCO, and he's going to be here with us talking about some important things. The usual things we talk about on this podcast are vibes and all, but when we're talking about life, there's some important things that you need to know. But today, going to a sequel of the Welcome to Covenant University podcast, we wanted to do something about the core values of Covenant University for freshers, so that you guys understand, why you're here, what you're here for, aside, academics, so that when you're leaving Covenant University, it's not just a certificate you're living with values that have been imbibed in you. All right, I've done so much talking. Let's introduce the man himself. Ayo, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Well, I is going to be here. He's going to be doing most of the talking today. I'm just going to be chipping in here and there. We've abbreviated. Okay, before we do that, let me just finish the announcement. To all our listeners, I'm not sure when. I just want to let you guys know it's going to be posted on the Instagram story. We're going to be doing a giveaway very, very soon to commemorate. I think the 10th month of 10th month of our stay in. 10th month of the podcast. I don't know why, but I just feel like, you guys have been so great. I checked my Spotify and then we've reached 1,000, although Apple Music reached 1,000 since, but just to thank guys for listening and everything, I decided to do a giveaway. So details on the giveaway will be on the Instagram page. I can't necessarily go too far on that, but for now, just keep watching the Instagram story and post. We'll let you know. Probably we'll get names will see you, and it will be nice to really broadcast that, but you get the idea. So stay tuned for that. The giveaway is going to be food and money, so partially food, partially money, and it's going to be for 3 people, first, second, and third. So you guys should get into that. For all of you that have been listening, thank you so much. For returning listeners, thank you so much for listening. It's been an awesome time serving you guys, because this is my way of serving you guys. I told you guys I created this platform because I didn't have a platform in Covenant University, and you guys have made it so loud. I've had so many fans of all, from all departments, all levels. That has been so. Honestly, you guys are making me feel like a celebrity. And
you actually say
you guys are making me feel like. Every time I entered the place and they were calling me social media influencer. My head, but it's calm. But it's calm. You guys, I love you guys so much. I love all my listeners so much, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here. It's been great. It's been fun, and thank you. But it's not enough. It's not enough. So I'm going to need you guys to really, because one of my fans was talking to me last week, and she said, and I just realized that the level and the, course where I have most of my fans accounting 300 level presently, those guys advertise for me, and half of them don't even know me, personally. So I'd like you guys to key into their spirit. You don't need to know me personally. If you want to, the Instagram page is there. I will respond, or one of my team members will respond and give you my Instagram. But if you don't want to know me personally, it's not that deep. You understand? But as long as you love the podcast, as long as you love what you're listening to, it's important that you share, because these are the key things that save people. You understand? This podcast also helps people mentally. You understand? You come back from a stressful day at school, you just come, you laugh, you vibe, you chill, and you have fun. You get, it's not something deep that you do. You get. So if you love the podcast and you love what you listen to, you love everything about the podcast, don't keep it to yourself, because I'm yet to find somebody who had listened to this podcast and regretted it. You understand? So please don't keep it to yourself. I've been talking for 3 minutes straight. Yeah, Ayo, we'll talk about SIMCARD. The abbreviation of the core values is SIMCARDs. To run through it: spirituality as S, integrity as M, possibility mentality as M, capacity building as C, capacity building is CA, M again
R.
Jesus, I cannot spell. Sorry.
This is what happens when you do SIMCARD for a very long time.
Actually, R as
responsibility.
R as responsibility, and S as
D as diligence.
Please just continue. I cannot even do it again. Continue.
Okay, so Covenant University is a university that's trying to raise a new generation of leaders. Is raising a new generation of leaders and restoring the battered image of the black man. So it was the inspiration to create the university was given to Bishop David Oyedepo, the Chancellor of Covenant University, and through the Living Faith Church worldwide, they are the ones that financed, they are the main financiers of this university. That's why you hear it's a God varsity, that God is the main owner, because God is the owner of the church. So basically, everything is sponsored by the Spirit. So people always come, like, when you understand the core values of Covenant University, you will know why some things happen in Covenant University and why Covenant University is like this. So I used to hear from one lecturer, I won't mention his name, he say spirituality is the arrowhead. And I was hearing from someone else again that spirituality is not the arrowhead, spirituality is the arrow. Every other thing is inside it. So the truth is, it's no coincidence that spirituality is the first part of Covenant University core values, because the chancellor always says something that if you are a spiritual person on campus, it will be very hard for you to walk in error on campus. Like, he always finds it hard to believe that there's anybody that has been truly spiritual that has been expelled from this campus, because one way or the other, I feel is either by God's mercy or God not making his word fall to the ground, that because he said you shall serve and you shall bless. So there are sometimes even when you walk in error, but because you've been an active servant, you've spent time in his presence, you will not walk in error, or even when you walk in error, his mercy will prevail for you.
Yeah. Talking about that, I remember something, or an analogy PKM used to give us. That's Pastor Kayode Martins during my 200 level. And he said something. He said, the reason why a lot of people fall into problems, or the reason why a lot of people do some things and they are not caught, is because of grace. That when you're coming to Covenant University, think of yourself, or think of it like this. You have an account, like your account balance, and then the currency is grace. Every time you do something wrong, every time you do something you're not meant to do and you're not punished, you are deducting from that grace. And then your parents, every prayer they give you, every blessing they send to your head, you understand, they are crediting it. If you are on this ground and all you are doing is just squandering it, you're not in a service unit, you're not serious with your spirituality, you're not in chapel, even when you're in chapel, you're not listening, you're dozing, you're not crediting it to yourself, and there's only so much your parents can do. The day that grace will run out, that's the day you will now find out that the littlest of things you do, it just becomes so much. Because the thing the devil does is that it will just put something small. It doesn't even need to be big. It could be the day you don't wear ID card, and then Dean will see you, and then he will not just like your mood. He will start with no ID card, gross insubordination, disrespect.
See you. They love gross insubordination. That's that second statement.
Exactly. It will just keep compounding you in, and you just be like, God, I beg.
God, I beg, Celine.
Do you understand? Exactly. And these are the things that usually happen to people. You see somebody that honestly, the whole day is just against you. Only you. 8 a.m. class, you were locked out of chapel. You get to your second class, you find tests that you were not prepared for. Your third class, your lecturer is sending you out because of you did not do. You just, as you're leaving your building, MSS is holding you for beards. Do you understand? When everything is just working against you, and you now feel like the world is against you. These are the reasons why. Because as you're on this ground, you understand, not everything is structured for you. You may be on this ground, and this is a ground of advantage, but for some people it's a ground of disadvantage. If you don't take into account the things of Christ, you just realize that you will struggle. A lot of people go through Covenant University 5 years, and honestly, when they come out, they will just be like, at least I've finished. I feel like that's not the way to graduate school. You need to graduate school feeling like I am full, not like I am empty. Because you've gotten your certificate, you've gotten experiences. I believe you'd have gotten useful skills in your field and other useful skills outside your field. So at that point, you've gone through a phase and you've gotten better. But if you come to Korean University and you finish, and all you can say is I have BNG, EIE, and that is all. is
You goof.
You goof. That's just it. Carry on.
So spirituality, as it being the arrow, I think we need to dwell more on it, in the sense that people come to see you, and most people's major problem with see you is the fact that they force them to go to chapel. Like, if you ask anybody, one of their major reasons not coming to covenants, those that would have come to covenants, they will tell you is, oh, that's good, they always force them to go to chapel, or they don't allow SIM cards. And
jeans.
Funny enough, SIM cards is their core. That's so funny. But or jeans, I even feel jeans is very, very fickle nowadays, because most people, okay, throughout my IT, I worked in a construction firm. I studied civil, so I worked in construction and consultancy. But it was like 4 months into my IT before I could start wearing jeans. Like, my mind, I was so used to not wearing jeans. So I feel there are fickle things that people put priorities on the minor things and leave the major things out. So I don't blame them. I'm not shading you if you were meant to come to see you and you didn't come to see you. It's probably God's plan for you not to have passed through see, but God will still touch you wherever you are. That's one thing I know. God works in mysterious ways. His ways are dynamic. His ways are not static. Engineering there, though. If you don't get it, forget about it. So, the truth is, spirituality, people look at it that they are being forced, but I don't see it as them being forced. They're trying to make you see reasons why you should be spiritual. Someone will come with the school of thought that, oh, this is a university, you're meant to be allowed to have freedom. You should choose. You should know if you need God. Some of you actually don't know when you need God. You need to be shown that you need God. That is what CU tries to do, not trying to force you. If you look at it as a forced thing, one day you would end up realizing that actually, what was I running away? When you leave CU, like this IT period just made me realize that when I went to my IT and came back, during my IT, I noticed that God doesn't need me. I'm the one that needs him. It's always me that would need him. Yes, he might need you to do some of his things, but the truth is, God works in. He could use someone else. It's just like a football field, a football match. They are the main players that start the match, and there are people on the bench. If someone on the field is messing up, is not delivering what the coach wants, the coach will substitute him like he never even existed, irrespective of if he's the most expensive player in the team. So sometimes it's the message of God that keeps us still in God's plan for us, irrespective of when we are goofing away. That's one thing I've come to realize. Okay, I knew there was a call upon my life, and I was like, God, are you sure you're really calling me? I'm not ready to be responsible for so many people's spiritual life. And I'm like, God, I beg, this thing is deeper than it is. Because I've seen my dad work in him being called as a pastor, and I'm like, it's not a very easy life. It's a life of sacrifice, a life of so many things. There are a lot of procedures to go, and I just was not ready in my head. So coming to see, I just wanted to just come for the academics, attend everything, and graduate. Then I'll figure out the call later on in life. And when I entered CU, before I entered CU, I drew a vision for my life. I wrote so many things I wanted to achieve. Take note, I achieved every other thing apart from my academics. Because if I achieved everything, including my academics, I don't think I'll still be on this ground. Because the ground I would have been too proud for the ground. So God has ways of dealing with people. That's where his mercy comes in place. It was not in his plan and purpose for me to have good academic prowess or excellence. I have it, but if you look at the metrics some people used to judge, I might not have gotten it. So I would say that God has a way of dealing with everyone. As our faces are, so our hearts are different. So He knows how to meet us one on one. That's the song, dude. So I made an agreement with God when I entered covenant in 100 level. Because I'm still on this spiritual matter. I told God that they said when I came in 100 level, chop was 3 times a week. But our first week they made us attend every day. And I used to attend chop in my father's house, so it was not hard. When I came to covenant and they were telling me I have to attend chop. And I said, God, you see this chop thing, even though I'm not so interested in this spirituality thing coming into covenant, I want to attend by God's grace. I want to attend every chop assigned to my level. And I'm my 500 level. By God's grace, there is no chop assigned to my level that I've not attended all through the 5 years. But take note, I wasn't reaping the benefits of attending chop all the time. I reaped some benefits, but all the benefits I didn't reap because I was not having the right motives attending chop. I remember in 100 level, a friend of mine, very close friend of mine, in 500 level now, we're still friends, so 5 years of friendship, said something that some of us were hearing the same thing now, but when we are in 500 level, people ask themselves, I thought we went through the same process. What is different about this person from me? And he said, it's our level of engagement, our level of understanding, different things. You are not a product of great meetings. You are a product of what you do after great meetings. So many of us, we entered CU the same year. We're in 500 levels together, but the difference is clear. They are level mates in school, but they are not level mates in life. So people are so fickle-minded when they will say, I did 500 level, you did 500 level. Nobody the same 500 level with you. Agbeni, calm down. If you have proper understanding, you will know that there's a difference between we're in the same level and we're not of the same level of understanding. So he said something also that some people is until 500 level before they would, not even 500 level. He said it's until towards the total graduate. That's a program that happens after your academic years in covenant. He said it's until that event happens before some people's eyes will be opened, whereas some people's eyes will be opened from 100 level. And I was like, God, I beg, make my own eye open from 100 level. But take note, my eye was open from 100 level, but there was a level of opening. It was at 100 level, at 200, at 300, at 400. But at 500, the opening is wide, because I've seen the experience of life outside school, and I'm back in school, and I'm like, I can't leave this ground and not draw virtue from this place. People come to chapel services and they're like, God, I've come for the attendance. Most people come to chapel services for the attendance, and we always pray one prayer before every chapel service. Most times in pre-services of service units before services, we pray that people's hearts are receptive to what is being taught in the service. The funny thing is, your heart could be receptive, but you will not know when the time for your word is. So it's better your heart is receptive throughout, because you might say, oh, when the pastor is preaching, my heart will be receptive, but your word might come during the opening prayer. Your word might come during the praise and worship. It might come during the prayer sessions. It might come during the testimonies. So I always want people to go with this mindset that their hearts are receptive at the beginning of the service till they say bye-bye from the service. Because some people, they close their minds once the message is over, and God is still ministering to people before the service is closed. So I want people to remove that time cap from their heads, that once is okay, the service is meant for 6 to 8. Once it's 8 o'clock, anything the pastor is saying is for him and chaplaincy members. No, open your mind. You don't know when your word will come, because if you know when your word will come, you will not need to attend the service from the beginning to the end. You will just come when it's time for your word. So I want people to attend with a place of a receptive heart. Like, draw virtue from this ground. Don't wait till your TTG before you realize there's virtue on this ground. Don't wait till your TTG before you start desiring the mantle or the grace upon Bishop Oyedepo's life, or the grace on this ground. Because the grace on this ground, if you catch it, when you graduate, when you leave this ground, the way you run, people will be wondering. I always tell myself this thing: Ayo, you are abnormal, in the sense that you are above normal. You can't be doing the normal things. You can't be doing normal things. You can't be sleeping like everybody. You can't be eating like everybody. You can't be talking like everybody. So those things have shaped my life in the past 5 years. Like, when I cast my mind back, it looks like it was just yesterday when I entered. But now I can say that, yeah, man, I've actually enjoyed this ground. I have grown. So that spirituality part is very important. And I stand by this, that if you understand this spirituality part very well, man, every other part, academic prowess, relationship excellence, good friendships, financial excellence, everything, dressing excellence, all of them will come just by keying to the spiritual part. Because the greatest asset of every believer is the voice of God. If you understand when God is saying go, when God is saying stop, when he's saying talk, when he's saying don't talk, when he's saying eat, even the ficklest of things, if you understand God's voice, your day will just go. Like, the President Chaplain says something, Pastor Victor Hill, he says, people say see you stressing them. See you is actually not stressing you. You are just being busy. When you are being led by God, you will just be busy. You will not have time for nonsense. When you spend time in the place of prayer, you'll be immune to nonsense. There are things that will trigger you, that won't trigger you that much. So the place of that spirituality is very, very important. That's why I don't mind we spending a lot of time explaining this spirituality part, because to some people they're like, they've come again. It's one of those chaplaincy guys that has come to talk about spirituality. It's because God is helping them. The funny thing is, most people wait till TTG before their hearts are receptive to what is on this ground. But the truth is, the people that come to speak to you during TTG, they are most of them, you've heard them before TTG, but your heart is more receptive at TTG. That is why you can hear them better. That's why you can understand them better. People will be like, I don't want to use this man's name, but I'll end up using his name. People like, Azu is this, Azu is that, Azu is this. But when it's time for TTG, some of them will now realize, so Azu is this kind of guy. Man, this guy is worded. But all along, Azu has always been Azu. It didn't change. It's just you that is realizing at that moment that, man, this man is actually worded. This man is actually speaking to me. He's ministering to me. So I just want people to go with that mindset, to change that mindset of, we're coming here for attendance. Come for God's attention, not for attendance. They always say it. It looks like a cliche thing. You will think, oh, the chaplain is always rhyming. Beyond those rhymes, listen to those words. I didn't say hear those words. Listen. Listen is different from hearing. Listen to those words that he's saying. Don't be quick to be among those that will start snapping their fingers or start shouting word. No, listen. Try and understand the meaning behind the words he's speaking, because the words he's speaking to us, they are spirits and they are life. So I want you to go with that mindset and mentality that is actually speaking to you, that God is speaking through him to you. So I feel that should be enough concerning the spirituality for now.
All right, we move on to integrity. I'll just start off. I personally think integrity as a core value is more than Covenant University. I know all of them are actually more than Covenant University, but integrity specifically, I don't want to start with stories of people who had integrity and he has taken them places, but I'll just put it like this. Look, people listen closer, because integrity is going to take you places where you cannot go physically. I'll take it again. In your integrity is going to take you places where you cannot go physically, because your integrity speaks about your name. It speaks about who you are. It speaks about your personality. If your integrity is strong, as far you're a person where they know that what this person says, this, it is this. You can call this person to talk about this, it is this. Then trust me, because in the initial case, people will be like, this guy is wasabi, he's doing too much, is this and is that. But when push comes to shove, when they are trying to look for somebody who they can depend on, because like it or not, one day in common university, everybody has their day where they will need you for something. And if they cannot count on you, if they cannot say this person's yes is yes, this person, if we appoint them for this, let me use the testimony. He may not like this, but I'm going to use the testimony because I told him I'll use it. I'm going to use the testimony of our former student chaplain. His name is Angel. Now, Angel was initially, a lot of people don't know this, but Angel told me himself that he didn't even want to come to be student chaplain. Like, initially, when they nominated him, he said he doesn't want. Wow. They pushed him as per, okay, come for interview. Angel stabbed the interview. Angel said, I'm not doing it. It's not me. But when they called him up, he went to chaplain. Chaplain spoke to him. He said, well, if this is God's will, fine. Do you understand? And Angel told me something. He said, I will never run for a post. If I'm meant to be in that post, they will put me there. You understand?
Deep.
That is integrity. He understands that, see, I'm a kind of person where they know me, I'm meant for this post. Your integrity will take you places where your name cannot. When somebody that doesn't even want to be in the post, they are fighting for him. It's not a matter of you were not there and you want to be in the post. They've told him, he said no. It's like they're trying to make you president and I say I don't want. And then the House of Rep is now saying no, by fire, by force. If you want it or if you don't want it, you must be president. It's grace. You understand? See, integrity in all things, it doesn't even have to be as big as, they've put 50 billion in your hand. It could be as small as signing for somebody. It could be, because I've understood that thing that I don't like people signing for me, except in extreme cases, but mostly I don't like people signing for me. Because I feel that if I can't be there, I can't be there. The truth is, attendance is more than just your presence. If you were there in a class, and you gain something. There's some classes I don't even want to come for, but I'll still come. And to be honest, as long as I just say, I just pick something. Because you'll be in a class, you being in that class, listening or not, you're still better than somebody that is sleeping in the hall. You'll be like, but that person is resting, they're cooking. I'm like, bro, listen to yourself. You are in that class. What if the man decides to do head counts? What if the man decides to do impromptu tests? What if the man, because see, lecturers in Covenant University are very bipolar.
They are led by the spirit, not bipolar.
They will just wake up one morning and tell you we're having tests. You just be wondering what's going on. How? As in, you just be like, how? And they will tell you there's no makeup for this test. If you miss this test, that's it. So look, you need to be moving by the spirit, number one. Number two, have integrity. Because if you sign, you now sign for that class. How will you now explain that you don't understand?
You don't understand what was even taught in the class.
Okay, the man says, we're writing tests. Somebody signed for you, but you did not do the test. When you're now coming back and you're saying, sir, I wasn't around, he now checks attendance, he sees your name. How do you want to explain
How did you sign now?
Do you understand? These are the kind of things you need to ponder on. Like, if you're going to miss it. That's the truth. I always tell people, do things that you can bear the consequence. And that's the way I actually live my life. I do things when I know I can bear the consequence. Consequence mean good or bad. If I know that missing chapel service, I can bear it. I'm not saying miss chapel service, I'm just using that example. Or let me use class. If I know missing class, I can bear it I know that because there was the time I was weighing up options. I was like, look, I'm in this class. I know that if I'm in this class, I'm going to doze because right now I am too tired. I told myself I'm too tired. Like, I just finished practical that was not supposed to be this long, but it happened. And now I just finished another 3-hour class. You're not asking me to stay for another 2-hour class. I was like, no. So what's going to happen is I'm going to stop this class. I'm going to go and sleep, and then I'm going to get the notes and read up what they were taught. And to be honest, the next week I was teaching people that were in class. Do you understand? Don't deceive yourself. Don't deceive yourself. Like, you will not tell somebody, sign for me, problem will start. You'll not be looking at yourself. I'm sorry to say this, one of my friends, he was expelled because he tried to falsify medical records, and they caught him. Like, why? Like, honestly, just why? Just don't. Like, I understand. See, Azu said something, and I've begun to understand the meaning of these things. He said, look, it's okay to miss a class. It's okay to miss 2 classes. Sometimes, avoidably or unavoidably rather, you may miss the 3rd class, but make sure you don't miss what was inside the class. You understand? Because a lot of people will just be moving, you just be doing your and then you just enter trouble. Like, fail the course, come back and do it, then pass the course. Because in AI right now, I'll tell you that if you do a course and you do understand, it will come back and bite you. It will come back and bite you.
I don't think it's just I think it's engineering. Because everything is a continuation of what was done in the previous year.
You do, let's say 311. You dubbed, you cheated, you scaled through and you go. You will come back to a course where they want to see your workings, they want to see everything, your diagram. 314, for example, you could get your calculation right. If your diagram is wrong, you will not mark it, give you 0.
Wow.
So all the dub that one and just mistakenly draw the wrong arrow or wrong direction, you just mark everything wrong because you don't understand. You claim you cheated. There's some courses like that is more than dubbing, is understanding. And if you don't, let's just call it logic courses. If you don't understand it, you don't understand it. And that's where you intend come for the class. It's not that hard. And this is coming from somebody. My hall is in Daniel Hall. I am in EIE. Those are the 2 ends of Covenant University. So for me to come for class, let me tell you, you're in Peter Hall, you don't have an excuse. You're in John, you're in Esther, you're in whatever, you don't have any comfort. You will not die. Like, low-key, you will just be tired. Worst comes to worst, you'll be tired. But let's be honest, everybody has been tired once in their life. You will not die. Like, what people used to do, like, is a do or die affair. I beg, I'm not coming for this class. So you will not be the one going to go and beg for attendance. Because to be honest, guys that start class, a lot of them still come back and beg for attendance. They will still be the ones saying, God, I beg. God, I beg. I will not miss class again. God, I beg. I will not start begging. Do you understand all these things? You just put yourself in more and more trouble that you cannot bear. You cannot hold. You just disturb yourself. And these are the things. Look, I always just tell people, see, in Covenant University, integrity is important. Because for you, it may not mean anything, but people are watching you. There was a time we were in class, and this guy was doing head count. They were like, I see, and they were like, oh, come. Make it they mentioned these boys. The guys were like, if I bend these guys in class, like, it's not even possible this boy is in class. And these are his guys. These are the way he calls his guys, and they know that this guy is not in class. Like, he signed for him, but he is not in class. Do you understand? Because people, everything in front of your guys, you're a high guy on everything now, sure. But when it comes to the guy, when it comes to matters that really matter, you just realize that all these things are inconsequential. They are vanity. Just keep your, because the truth is that, and I just like to tell people this, my listeners everywhere, see, things that you cannot correct now, they will be difficult to correct later. All these things that you're telling yourself, I have a problem, I'll work on it later. The problem is, listen, you're never too busy to solve a problem. Understand that? Because the moment you keep pushing it, problems don't go away. They just compile. So the more you say, I'm coming, you will just realize that the longer you spend without solving a problem, the bigger the problem becomes. You will say, because I talk about relationship, let's just scale it down to relationship factor. You had trauma over your ex, and you just tell yourself that one day it will pass. when you find that guy you like you love him, you just come back and you just realize that more trauma deal. Because the thing will not go away. It's not jazz. Time does not heal. People tell me that time does not heal. Working on yourself is what makes you better. You can go 20 years, you will still feel the trauma. It's the truth. Heartbreak, fine. Over time, it goes away. Because at least the affection gets to diminish. But when something called like they cheated on you, you had a little bit of trauma, they did things to you that you may not, have been proud of, it sticks with you, and you don't understand that these are things that cause problems for people later in marriage. Some people cannot commit to another. Let's not go into deeply, but you understand integrity is important. I was just using that as an analogy. If you cannot be a person of integrity now, and especially in the workforce, they take these things seriously. My uncle was talking to me. I was like, look, when they're looking for people to hire, or when they're looking for people to promote, they look for all those people that they are saying they are doing too much. They look for all those people that they are saying their own is too much wahala. Because those are the kind of people they need. People that
they don't care what people think.
They don't care what people think. They just want to get the job done. Exactly. So all your own that people are telling your own is too much, and I'll be like, let me just calm down. You're just putting yourself in a tight spot. Because that human being that you're saying his own is too much, he will be your boss one day. You just don't know yet. He's sweating, he's stressing himself, he's going the extra mile, and you are just living under AC, chilling, doing what everybody's doing. He's holding steadfast his integrity because that's how he was built. And then people now struggle later to build this thing they call integrity. Because the truth is that a habit that's been with you from young begins to solidify when you are older. It becomes difficult for you to stop. If you've been lying, stealing, cheating, when you're now 22, 23, 24, 25, you just realize that to stop lying is hard. To see something that you don't even need, you just pick it. It should just be part of you. You'll be like, but I don't even need. Why did I pick this thing? Like some people, it's their second thoughts. In subconscious, they'll just see something. They'll just see pen. They'll take it. You have 3 pens in your pocket. You just see pen. They'll pick it. Do you understand? Stealing, lying, cheating, deceit, everything will just be part of you. And these are not things that you want to do, because spirituality is everything. But aside spirituality, when it comes down to it, people want people that are honest and have integrity. That's the truth. I've spoken too much. Ayo, please continue.
It's possible for you to see a man of integrity. Yeah, you can see a man of integrity, but he's not spiritual. But you can't see a spiritual man that doesn't have integrity. That's one thing. That's what I'm saying. That's why I kind of agree with the school of thought that it's not the arrowhead but the arrow. Because everything, if you are really, really spiritual, it will boil down. You have integrity. And when you were saying something about you, if you don't treat the matter now, it will still come back. Our former chaplain used to say something, Pastor Kyle says, it doesn't matter. It becomes matters arising. Yeah. So it's better you treat it now. And that thing that, and that mantra I've worked with over time in life is the mantra that you might not like me now, but when you are looking for someone to do something in future, you would remember me because I've not sold my integrity for you. You might not like me when I was your coach rep. Maybe you might know my coach rep. Yes, this. You might not like me when I was your coach rep, that I didn't allow you sign for someone. But now, if you are looking for someone, that's a place where you know that the person will not be working, no matter the amount of pressure on the person to do something, it's me you still come back to. I'm not trying to say this as a thing of pride, but I know where I'm going in life. I know that people would solicit my attention for things because I've not sold my integrity. And one thing about people that have integrity is the next core value. People that have integrity, they always have this mentality that anything is possible. Yeah. And spiritual people are the ones that always have that mentality the most. In the sense that as a believer, we know that anything is possible with Christ, because the Bible says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So that possibility mentality that, man, with God, oh, even if my own flesh, I don't know how to do it, with God, I'm sponsored. I'm sponsored by the Spirit. I'm sponsored by the Spirit that I can do all things. I can do all things. Some people have this mentality that tell yourself the truth when, okay, there's this thing in the world of works where they say that when someone asks if you can do something, don't say I can't. Be willing to tell them that you are willing to learn, that you don't know how to do it now, but if there's an opportunity for you to learn on the job, you would like to be given the opportunity. And I feel that's the mentality CU is imbibing in their students, but most of them don't realize it. That's why those of you listening to this podcast, I know that it's something that after this podcast, your mentality and mindset should change concerning things happening around you. Most people always believe that there are natural processes, there are natural laws that have to be followed, but sometimes natural laws are broken because of the spiritual law. They are broken because of the spiritual law, because with God nothing is impossible. What God cannot do does not exist. Someone said, but God cannot lie. That means, and another person replied in that a lie is not something that exists. It's something that doesn't exist. You are trying to create something that doesn't exist. So basically, God can do all things. He can't lie. So it's something is not. It's a lie is something that doesn't exist. So he can't do it. That's one thing. That's basically how much I want to touch on possibility mentality. There are more to it, but like to make this thing not to make this podcast so long and boring. Max, would you like to talk about the next?
What's next after possibility mentality?
Capacity building.
Capacity building. Covenant University don't build my capacity. They built my tolerance. Because honestly, I was when I came to Covenant University, my friends knew me, or my first, let me just say, Mesoma knows me for this. I will show you Shaggy. I will show you Shaggy.
Are you sure you know Maria?
No. I will show you Shaggy if you come near me. Because I was the kind of person where I was very annoying, but I didn't have high tolerance for anything that pissed me off. So honestly, I was I had a very short fuse. Do you understand? And this is just in one aspect. Capacity building is large. Trust me, it's very big. Because it works, I feel like it works hand in hand with possibility mentality.
Yeah.
Because even if you can't do something, doesn't mean you will not be able to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, when I came to Government University, did I know computer engineering?
Mm-mm.
But now I can do it. It's about having the right mindset of knowing I can do it. The moment you can do it, you start. I feel like possibility mentality is having the right mindset. Capacity building is working towards that mindset. Working is like having faith and then working on that faith. Exactly, working on that mindset. You understand? That, I have the mindset that I can do this. But now, what are the steps I must take? You understand? It's not that I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I can pass this test, I can pass this test. I don't read. I don't study. I don't do research. I don't go the extra mile to meet my lecturers. I don't, because my course is a calculation course. I don't practice. You're wasting your time because you will fail. Like, it's not jazz.
Goof, why?
It's not jazz. You will fail. You're in accounting. You don't take extra hours to do practice on ledgers and stuffs, and I don't know their stuff, but you get the idea. You're in mass comm. You don't go. You don't do. I don't even think you can in mass comm and not have social skills.
You build capacity mass comm.
What are you doing? You're in mass comm. You are struggling to talk to 3 people. Ha!
It's not possible.
You are joking.
Oh yeah.
You are joking. You're in engineering. You cannot calculate. You are joking. You're in Aki. You cannot draw. You're a joker. Do you understand? These are the kind of things that you need to understand. That, see, you may not. I know a person. I love this guy so much. He said when he came into Aki, he couldn't draw, and they had an assignment. I think I think for Aki students, they can relate to this. Their first
100
assignment
level.
was that in their 100 level, before the end of the semester, they had to draw 100 drawings
Of different things.
of different things, and they must not be the same. Even to ask me to list 100 things, it will be kind of difficult. You know it, but listing it to be kind of difficult. Talk us of now drawings. This guy said that he spent at least 5 hours every day drawing. Went to YouTube, went to his mates to give him tips. Now he's one of the best artists in the school. This guy could not even draw the moon when he came in 100 level. Ordinary, just basically two lines, just two curved lines that they meet. He couldn't draw it. Now he's beautiful. He's good not just on like paper. I'm talking even designing, graphics design, all these things. He's so good, and these are the things he had the mentality and he worked towards it. He built the capacity to do these things. And because think of yourself like an empty cup all the time, ready to be filled, not full. Don't say I'm in computer engineering, I know this, because the truth is, no matter how smart you are, there are people in other courses that will dust you. My friend in mass comm knows more about video editing than me. Period. It's not about being smart. There are skills that you need. I know people in computer engineering right now that are doing better. If I say in elect, that can do better on CAD software than make students. You know, just humble yourself. Oh, bro, I hear say you sabi this thing. I beg, if you just run it really, I beg. The guy will take you through it and you will sabi. Like, honestly, always think of something that, I want to do this. I know guys in banking and finance that are very good. If I'll use Mesoma is in computer engineering. She's very good with Figma, with Canva. In fact, she's I don't think there's anybody I've seen who has done Canva better than her. Like, very creative mindset, and she cannot draw. She cannot draw, but she's very creative. You understand? Like, she does UI UX. I'm just advertising her because she's my guy. She does UI UX. She's good on Figma. She's very resourceful. Honestly, to be honest, if you need something, you can find her. She'll get it for you. She's very, very, very. She's the most resourceful person I've ever met. To be honest, most resourceful person I've ever. I don't think there's anything I've met her that I need that she cannot provide. So she's very, very resourceful. You understand? Well, let's not dwell too much on capacity building. Let's move on. Time is almost up.
Okay, responsibility.
No, let me move here. A few days ago, I was talking about something. Sorry. A few days ago, I was talking about something. I was like, there are 3 stages of life for me that people don't get. They jump it. Responsibility is the last stage. Some people go from, because you start from.
They jump, but they actually don't want to.
They just move. You're not ready for it, but there are certain responsibilities you're not ready for. Do you understand? But at the same time, work at your pace. I am not ready for student council. Period. I should not carry my head
this table
and start moving to student
this table
council
you
chairman.
want to shatter.
No, seriously. I feel like a lot of people, they enter some places and they just do nothing.
Okay.
Because you are not ready. Take your time. Because see, first of all, you grow. From growth, you become mature. From maturity, you gain responsibility. It's in that step. You don't say I'm growing, then I just carry responsibility. You mature into responsibility. You don't grow into responsibility. That's the thing people used to make. Okay. Because think about it. When you were 7 years old, could you drive? No. Even if you wanted to drive, could you drive?
No.
You had to mature to an age where
allowed to drive.
Exactly, you were allowed to drive. You could drive.
Yeah.
You understand? Even if you had all the skills, they did not allow you because they realized you're not mature enough. Not you are not grown enough. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That when because when you're a baby, you do some things now, your parents will just
fash.
It's fash. I beg. Also, they will shout at you. But when you get to a certain age, they look at you and be like, no, you are too mature for this thing. And when you get to a certain age, they'll be like, now you are mature enough to get this responsibility. At this age now, I cannot sit in my father's house for 2 weeks and do nothing. It's rubbish. You have, even if they've not given you responsibilities, you have to impose some specific responsibilities upon yourself, and that is where you are matured. When you are old enough to say, young man, I'm in Covenant University, I cannot spend my Saturdays and say just because I'm resting, I'm not doing anything. That you cannot say, oh, Saturday, oh, I'm just going to eat, sleep, watch anime, and just vibe. You understand? You have to talk to yourself and say, I'm a grown human being, I'm not a child. I cannot now, because the truth is that when you're in the workforce, there are some days that your people, quote unquote, will just call you out of the blue and say, Maxwell, you are going to work on this project Saturday through Sunday and you submit it on Monday. Will you tell them no? That's the truth. You wouldn't. You have to gain this mentality that, see, any day I am ready. That is what responsibility is about. Being available to take up any job at any time as God will it. You understand? Always be ready to take up responsibility at any time. And that's, I feel like, you have to be responsible for yourself. Be responsible for yourself. Be responsible for your friends. Be responsible for the people around you. Your roommates. I note I didn't put roommates and friends in the same thing. Your roommates may not necessarily be your friends. You understand? Because your roommate could be a smoker. Take responsibility and tell him, sir, young man, we don't do this here. Because as you are keeping quiet, when they want to pack all of you, they will not care whether he was the smoker or you were the smoker. Two of you are smoking, as far as they are concerned. You understand? So you have to take responsibility, and that's what it's about. Take responsibility. Your guy left the room. He left his laptop on the table. He left his wardrobe open, and his padlock is there. He has the key, but he left his padlock open. Everything. And you just say, it's not my business, may I go? No, take responsibility, help him pack his stuff. If his wardrobe is locked and they left it, put it in your own. Because if they steal it, you'll be the first person they will accuse because you were in the room. You understand? Take responsibility. That's what it's mainly about. Ayo, take over.
Because I am this responsibility thing, and that table you wanted to shut about. I would touch on it briefly, by God's grace. When I entered the 100 level, council looked so nice. Everyone wanted to be in council. Actually, all my clique of friends, we asked them, they wanted to be in council. But over time, I realized that you don't need to be in council to lead.
Yeah.
You need to be in council to lead. And I think we've abused this statement so much. People say God doesn't God qualifies the called, but sometimes God calls the qualified. So there's a balance to it. There's this quote that says, I'll prepare so that when my time comes, it won't meet me unprepared. So you don't leave everything to chance that when I get there, I would learn how to do it. Yes, there are sometimes where you will get there and you have to learn on the job. But sometimes you have to learn before you get the job. It's like the job of a pilot. It's like the job of a pilot. You can't wait to be flying before you now start learning. You can't wait to be on air before you now start learning how to fly. You would learn before you start flying. So when the time comes to properly fly, you'll be able to fly well. And I feel that's what they were trying to do when they were trying to say we should be absolutely responsible. Because Papa says you are absolutely responsible for the outcome of your life. So when you understand that, if I fail, it's my fault. If I succeed, it's my fault also, by God's grace. Because one thing I want people to know is God's grace and mercy is what is the crux of the life of a believer. Because it was His grace and mercy that got us saved. It's His grace and mercy that have brought us to where we are in life. So we should always know that we have to be very, very responsible for things that happen in our life and things we do, so that you don't just live life like it's no man's business, it's my life, Abi. If you understand that when you die, you're going to give accounts to God, for everything you've done on earth, then you will know that, man, I have to be responsible. You have to be responsible. It's like, okay, I used to dodge positions of topmost leadership positions because I always feel that I'll be responsible for people's growth. Like, I've dodged being an exco in services for some time now. I wanted to even dodge this last time, but because I always feel that being a position of a leader in the service unit, you are responsible for the growth of people. So you can't just take your life with laxity or levity. You can't be careless. You can't just talk anyhow. You can't just behave anyhow. And you have to correct them. You have to correct them in love. So I always wanted, like, man, Ayo, are you really ready to be a leader? That's why I was always dodging. I was like, they called me this year. I told them, sorry, I can't do. They called me and I said, I'm sorry. Or this last year, sometimes God will always work when He knows He has prepared you enough for that position. That's why sometimes it looks like you're not qualified, but when you start the job, God now helps you to do the job. You might look, man, I'm not qualified. But God has prepared you. He has taken you through some processes that have prepared you for it. And you'll not be able to handle with proper responsibility. So I feel that's enough we should touch on.
Okay. What's next?
Responsibility. Then this one, diligence. This one, it deals with the quote of my life. The proverb that I used to guide my life. The proverb says, "Sayest thou a man diligent in his business, he will stand before kings and not men." Man, that quote, I understood that quote early in life. I think JS2. So I knew that I can't not be diligent. I have to be consistent in some things. Like, though it's convenient, though it's not convenient, I must do this thing. So I've come to that realization that, man, it's not about it's easy. It's about it must be done.
As for diligence, I'll say something my dad always tells me. He always says this thing of whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. Perfect. Be it whether they asked you or you want to. Because look, people will be like, if I don't want to do it, I won't do it well. I'm like, you're doing yourself. Or sorry, my dad told me this. He said, you're doing yourself. Because the truth is, I'm going to relate it to the workforce all over again. The truth is, the way you get discovered is volunteer work.
Yes.
It's things you don't want to do that people look at you more. Do you understand? Because people know me that, Max is a talker. Max likes talking. If they now come and ask me, Max, come and write, people will be interested to see how I write because they know Max can talk. Well, how can he write? Do you understand? Guy, when they talk about diligence, do it with your best effort. I promise you, even if you fail, the fact that you failed, you will learn from it. But if you didn't even put in effort, all you'll be telling yourself is, can it where I did? Can it where I put? And you will not know that you did not even do well, but you just put your head. You just put your head and say, it's because I did not do well, that's why. So it's because I did not put effort, that's why. But if you put your best and you failed, you will not know that,
this is what I should not
do. Sharp, may I adjust? But all this what you're telling yourself is because I did not. Honestly, people who fail are not losers. People who make excuses are the real losers. Do you understand? So when you are talking about diligence, do your absolute best. The truth is that it may take time, energy, and honestly, sweat. But the truth is, in the end, it will all be worth it. Because the little jobs you do on a daily basis actually go a long way in your portfolio and in helping helping to build your character. So because time is running out, let's just run through the rest.
The last one is just one more.
Oh, okay, one more. Okay, right.
And that last one, it even relates with diligence.
Sacrifice.
Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. Covenant has taught me sacrifice. there are some things that are not required of us as Covenant University students.
Yeah.
It's not as if these things are bad, but we're schooled to learn how to sacrifice some things. There are some things you learn how to forgo as Covenant University students. Like, there are places, it's not as if you go there, it's bad though. But Covenant will tell you, teach you how to hold yourself that, do I enjoy this place? I cannot post anything about this place. Covenant would, another way to look at that sacrifice thing is, there are sometimes for you to build capacity, you have to forgo some personal things for you to grow. Like, as an executive in service unit, you know it's a sacrifice for you to come before everybody comes and leave after everybody has gone. And when you do all these things, your time is reduced to the barest minimum. Someone will still now come with, sir, ma, I have this issue, please come and help me. Most times they even forget that you're a student like them.
Yeah.
So it's that sacrifice that will make you do those things irrespective. And when you do those things, you now realize that you actually, most times when you sacrifice, you reap it in rewards, in folds that even you can't tell. Even you can't tell. At least I myself, I'm a product of it. I'm a product of grace. My family, we enjoy this thing called on-time unction. Before the need arise, the supply is waiting. So like, God already knows we need this thing, and the supply will be waiting. And this has happened because we are sold out. We are sacrificial people. There's some sacrifice my father has made me make in this life. I'm like, oh boy, chief, this thing no fail. We will have visitor. We will buy chicken for the visitor. But in the house, we are not around. You know, they serve me chicken though. Do you understand? So what it makes you live a sacrificial life that when you now think about it, like, you would learn how to like just have a free heart. Like, you know that my labor there is profit, so I should just relax. It might not look like it now, but
in the long run,
I will enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think we've touched this thing, and I feel if you're in 100 level, irrespective of the level you are in, listening to this podcast, you should really have changed your mindset. Take notes, some of these things are personal opinions, our personal views on the SIM cards, but I feel in all these things, God is speaking to someone. Your word might be at the end now, your word might be at the beginning. So if you've just listened, you've just heard through, go back and listen through, your word would be there.
Yeah.
Your word will be there.
Yeah.
Because when Mark started this thing, I remember how when he wanted to start, we advised him in the office one day, like, he was disturbing all of us with his rants and ideologies, and we're like, go and start Mark's talks. It looked like just a little statement we made, and now we are all enjoying the benefits of it. During my IT, how I knew things that were happening in school or happening in my service unit was because I was listening to Mark's talks. I was doing some things that some people don't know I know about them. I will just mind my business. I just bujukurumbe, but it's fine. So.
Yeah. Well, we've come to the end of today's episode. It's been an awesome time with you, Ayo. Thank you so much for taking out of your busy schedule. This man is a busy man.
I beg.
When you're talking about senior men, on this ground, he's a senior man.
I beg.
Thank you so much.
All products of God's grace and mercy. So
thank you so much for taking out time to speak to each and every one of us. It's been an honor. It's been a blessing, and I hope you guys should key into everything that's been said on this podcast. Please don't take it with levity. These are things that will change your life. These are things that are important to you. So please key into each and every one of them. And God bless you. You're going to enjoy the next podcast. Trust me. We're going to have a panelist of, I think, 4 or 5 people. With me, 5 people. And you guys are going to love it. But listen to this. Trust me. It's going to be awesome. As for the giveaway, I know that's what you people want to hear because I said money and food. But trust me.
Am I involved?
You can do. It's only my team members and I that are not allowed to do the giveaway, but everybody else can.
Oh, it did my head though. You not fear me. I feel me.
So you guys, thank you so much, Ayo.
Thank God.
Thank
you for having me. I'm really grateful. Mark Stock listeners, please. I'm very shy. Don't go and start shouting that you hate me, Mark Stokes. I'm big. I'm shy.
Have an awesome day, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.